You probably have heard that every pro in Discgolf says at least do 100 putts per day. Have you ever wondered, is it going to work? Is it going to help? I will be doing 100 putts every single day as long as I can. But in order to do that, I'm going to need a baseline. So I'm going to use the Yuli app. Inside and indoors and outdoors records are really low. 542 points inside and 479 points outside. So you know that I'm below average putter. So we're going to do a Yuli game first. It's going to be part of the 100 putts per day. It's like already 20 rounds with 5 putters, so it's going to be 100 putts. For those who don't know what the Yuli game is, let me explain it really fast. The Yuli putting game is a point system game where you can score up to 1000 points. You will need 5 putters, as each of the 20 rounds consists of 5 putts. You will start your game from 10 meters, and from each made putt you get the same amount of points you made. If you made 0 putts, you get 0 points. If you made 2 putts, you get 20 points. After that, you collect your 5 discs and move on to the next distance, depending on how many you made. 0 equals 5 meters, 1 equals 6 meters, 2 equals 7 meters, and so on. The Yuli website will also tell you your next distance, so you don't have to overthink it. For my baseline, I didn't do so good and scored only 345 points. This is way below average. Like you can see from the picture, I was extremely bad from 8 meters, but was surprisingly average from 9 meters. So weird. So this is day 1 in Thailand, and we're going to see you tomorrow in day 2. 345 points. It's really bad, but it's drizzling a little bit. Towards the end, I was starting to get it. So maybe it's not the best baseline, but it's a start. In this episode, I will look more into the data of my putting, as I feel I'm still discovering how my putts should be. I decided to do 5, 6 and 7 meters to get the feel from different distances and have more data. Day 2, and I started from 5 meters. Considering my baseline test, I was doing surprisingly good with 79%, and I was quite happy with it. A good start. Day 3, I moved to 6 meters, and you can already see that I have changed my stance, as this feels more natural. On this practice I had 77% and I was still feeling good, as this is going way better than expected. But then came along day 3. On day 3 I did my practice during a low tide at the beach, and I was actually doing the putts 20 meters from the beach itself. What a beautiful way to have a practice. Sadly my good feeling didn't last, as with these calm conditions from 7 meters I hit only 58%. On day 5 I moved back to 5 meters, as I started questioning if only 100 putts per day is enough to increase my level. From 5 meters still feeling good, and hit 76% of that 100 putts. The next 3 days I was still doing only 100 putts per day, as it takes only at most 15 minutes to do. Like you can see, the hit ratio is still bad, and from 7 meters there's a huge drop off. And it was exact same thing for the next 3 days. 5 and 6 meters are good, not great but still good, but 7 meters is already really bad. I knew I needed to change something. After analyzing all the knowledge I have accumulated from different coaches and online videos, I decided to change things, even if I knew it would result in at least a small drop off in my averages. Starting from day 12 I decided to take a new approach. First, I needed to put more spin and power to my putts. Second, 100 putts per day is just not enough. I will still record my first 100 putts, but after that I will continue for 1 hour with my practicing. Only the first 100 putts will be counted and considered part of the data. Like you can see, my 5 and 6 meter putts went down more than 10%, but 7 meters putts stayed about the same, as it was already bad. But here is the point where I need to start trusting the process and just continue this experiment. From this graph you can see my average hit rate with those practice days. 5 and 6 meter putts are not that bad, but there is a huge drop off from 7 meters. This needs to change, as there is not much difference from 6 to 7 meters. On day 15 I decided to play the Yuli game again to test my baseline. Here you can see how I marked my distances to the basket. The game itself was feeling different as I'm using more power and therefore the putts were more straightforward. I was still missing quite many putts, but still was able to beat my previous score. 406 points is not that much of an improvement, but if you consider that I changed my putting style from a lofty putt to more power putt, then I can be happy with that improvement. Here you can see my round percentages as the most putts were made from 7 and 8 meters. There is an interesting drop off after every 2 meters. This needs to change. I think the drop off between 5 meters and 7 meter putts should be around 10 to 15% to consider myself a good putter. As you can see me stretching by the ocean, this concludes the first episode of my road to become good at putting. I hope you find this experiment interesting. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for future episodes. Leave a comment about your thoughts and ideas so that we all can benefit from it. Don't forget to find me from Instagram and TikTok for more clips from my journey. Until next time, have a birdiful day.